Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. And today we're in the kitchen because I'm fixing to make some Christmas cookies that I'm going to give out to my neighbor. And remember when I cleaned my cabinet out and I showed you those big Christmas plates that I got at the Dollar Tree? I'm going to put the cookies on there to take to the neighbors. That way they can keep the plate and it'll be out of my house. So this is a recipe that I have found on TikTok. But I Googled the actual recipe for myself because, you know, TikTok is only like 60 seconds. And sometimes they don't even give you the measurements. So I needed to know specifically what I needed to have on hand to make this. And they're called orange slice Christmas cookies. Or just orange slice cookies, really. You can make them any time of the year, but I am making them for Christmas. So let me get started and I will show you the ingredients that you need to make these cookies. All right, now I have everything laid out here that you're going to need for these cookies. The first thing you're going to need is 2 sticks of butter softened. So I went ahead and put them in the bowl. And as you can see, I'm going to start using this big Tupperware dish. I had pretty much forgotten that I had that with it crammed back underneath the cabinet. Now that I remember I've got it, I'm going to start using it more in my recipe. So I put the softened butter in there. Then you're going to need a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, which is here. 3/4 cup of brown sugar, which is in here. 2 large eggs, which I've already cracked and put in here. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, which I have in here. 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And I just went ahead and measured my 2 cups out. And then I dumped the 1/4 cup on top so that they're all right there together. 1 teaspoon baking powder. Right here. 1 teaspoon baking soda, which is here. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which is in there. 2 cups orange slice candy sliced up. And I bought these candies when I did my Dollar Tree roulette. I picked up these at the Dollar Tree. And you just cut them up into tiny little wedges like this. Bite-sized pieces. I cut mine up with a pair of scissors. 2 cups quick oats. And that's these quick oats right in here. And then 2 cups of finely chopped coconut. Now the first thing that you need to do is preheat your oven to 350 and line your cookie sheet with parchment paper, and I've already done that. Now in a large mixing bowl using a hand mixer, which is on the other side of the kitchen, I'm going to have to go over there to do it. You're going to cream your butter, your brown sugar, and your white sugar until creamy about 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my sugars in. Just like that. And then I'm going to go over to my mixer and mix them up. Okay, here's the dough all creamed together with the sugar. And y'all aren't going to believe this. I stripped another mixer out. I don't know what it is with me lately that I can't even use a hand mixer. I've used hand mixers for years and never had no problems. And it worked on this for about a minute. It was beating fine, and all of a sudden it made a loud pop, and the beaters fell out. So I ended up meeting the rest of it up by hand. So I'm not even going to worry about getting a mixer until after the first of the year. I hope I don't have any more recipes where I have to use a mixer because my luck is not good with mixers. All right, then after you get that all mixed up, you're supposed to add the eggs and the vanilla. So we're going to put the vanilla in first. And then I'm going to add my eggs. It doesn't say anything about beating them with a mixer, so there's the eggs and the vanilla in there. Okay, after the eggs and the vanilla beat well, stir in the flour, the baking powder, the baking soda, and the salt until combined. So I'm going to put these smaller ones in there first before I add the flour. And I'm going to add the flour a little bit at a time. There's the salt, baking powder, and baking soda. All mixed up. Now I'm going to add the flour a little bit at a time. Okay, here it is with the flour mixed in. At this point, this dough is very, very thick, and I'm still going to have to add the orange candy, the coconut, and the oatmeal. So it says to cut the candy up, which I've already done. Fold it into the mix along with the oats and the coconut. So I'm going to put the candy in first. And fold it in. Now I'm going to add the oats. And the last thing I'm going to add in is the coconut. And I may have to get in there with my hands. Get this all mixed together. Okay, I ended up putting gloves on and mix it with my hands. Very, very thick dough. And even though it doesn't say to do it, I'm going to put it in the ice box and let it chill for about 30 minutes to an hour. So at that time, I'll come back and get you and finish up the recipe. Okay, I'm back, and I'm ready now to start rolling the cookies out. I left them in the ice box for about 30 minutes to chill. I'll roll them up in balls about this size. It said 1.5 to 2 inches, so I ain't measuring them, but I'm just eyeballing them. I think this will be all right. Just like that, and so I'll come back when I get them all on the tray. Okay, here's the first batch ready to go in the oven. And it says to bake them 10 to 12 minutes or until golden brown. So let me put these in the oven and bake them. And when they get done and come out, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, the cookies are out of the oven, but I'm going to let them cool a little bit before I do a tasting. I've never made these before, so I have no idea what they're going to taste like. And of course, I want to taste them before I give them to the neighbors, because if they taste like yuck, then I'm definitely not going to take them over to the neighbors. Okay, I flipped them over and I think they've cooled down enough where I can do a little taste test. Let me get a small one. Break it in half so we can look at the inside. The orange candy's in it. Now let me try it. Let's hope we have good results. Well, surprisingly, they're not as sweet as I thought they would be, since I used white sugar and brown sugar in them. I expected them to be way a lot more, and coconut. I expected them to be way a lot more sweeter. They do taste good, so the neighbors will get them. I'm not ecstatic about them as I thought I would be. They are a good cookie. They were a little bit more difficult to make than what I was expecting them to be. And you can't really taste the orange candy in them like I thought. So, It's not a total fail, but it's not a great, like, I'm not going to give it a great review, I would say. From a 1 to 10, I would give it a 5. But yeah, I will make them. And I think what I'm going to do, see how these are puffy? On the next batch, I think I'm going to flatten them down with a fork like a peanut butter cookie. Let's see how that works. So that's it for this video. Thank you so very much for coming and visiting with us today. And y'all come back and see us any old time. Bye for this one.